Dreams. We all have them. In fact, a lot of us have ones that we can talk to others and say, hey, did you have a dream about losing a tooth? And oh, yeah, I had a dream like that once. Or did you ever have a dream where you felt like you were falling? Oh, yeah, I had a dream like that once before. So, we have dreams that are common sometimes between ourselves and others. And sometimes we have things that are a little less explicable. Say, auditory dreams. Have you ever had a dream that you're semi falling asleep and you feel like you are hearing something, but it turns out there's nothing there at all? You are actually hearing it in your head, and it's a kind of a phenomenon of being partially drifting off into sleep and then kind of waking back up. And then there is the very mysterious sleep paralysis, which has been described as kind of the opposite of falling asleep and having maybe an auditory thing, but actually, theoretically, according to studies, sleep paralysis is when you are in a waking state from a dream, but your body is in such a state that it's paralyzed, unable to move for a little bit. Your brain hasn't quite caught up with the fact that you're awake. That's the theory. Okay, so those are the theories. Have you experienced any of these kind of things? Real vivid dreams, auditory dreams, falling, that kind of thing? Well, I can tell you I have, so I'm going to tell you a few things that have happened to me in my dreams. That, you sometimes have these experiences that you just cannot shake. How vivid, or you just remember the dream because it was just such a vivid thing, just that. So we're going to go with 3. See if you have had that. Pardon my shaky, once again, incredible camera work. What are we doing out here anyway? He's got sticks. Oh, this guy looks like he is in trouble. He was at a graveyard. Now, don't try starting a fire in the middle of the floor, guy. Come on, you're going to burn the place down. What are you doing? Guy's freaking out. Oh, dear. Oh, boy. See? Things are going to hell over on the hand basket over here. So, let's get on to the dreams, shall we? The first that I wanted to discuss is auditory dreams. I've had a few when I've been falling asleep. Sometimes, I think I'm hearing a knocking, or, somebody banged a door, or maybe even somebody said something, but I'm waking back up and I realize it was in my head. It was actually not out in the room. So that would be the auditory that I've had. Wake up, repeat, fall asleep, except for there was one time, and it was really very strange. I was in deep sleep, and I was apparently having something of a nightmarish kind of dream. And I actually woke myself up with my own voice yelling at somebody to get out, get away, leave me alone, something like that. I don't remember specifically what I said. I just remember my own voice. That woke me up. That was kind of freaky deaky. Have you had that happen to you? Because, again, I did. And it was only that one time. It was kind of strange. Okay, so that's the auditory side of life. Number 2, vivid dreams. I've had a few, but one that was relatively recent, within the last, 6 years, because they don't happen that often, was so vivid that when I woke up, I actually ran downstairs to my husband and hugged him because I was so glad that that dream was not real. It felt so good to go, gosh, the people that had just taken over our house weren't actually in our house, because that was the dream. I had dreamt that we had all these people that suddenly were in our house. I couldn't find my husband. I couldn't find my phone. I couldn't find our dog. I couldn't find our cat. People were selling food out of our kitchen like a restaurant. People were telling me that I had to leave and pay to get back into my own house. The same thing was happening across the street at our neighbors. It was insane. So I ended up finding a phone, and I'm trying to call my husband, and I can't get a hold of him. And This keeps happening, and I'm running back and forth, and I'm looking, and I'm running, and eventually I wake up. And like I said, it was so vivid. I ran downstairs, hugged my husband, and said, thank God that was a dream, because I was freaking out. I honestly thought it was real. And hey, have you had one like that before? Because, whoo, heart palpitations much? I had them. This is my final one. Sleep paralysis. We hear about it. Well, I did experience it, but only one time. And that's what is kind of interesting for me, because one would expect if this was kind of a phenomenon, unless it was brought on by stress, but at the time I don't recall being any severe stress, actually. I lived in a studio apartment, excuse me, on my own, first time in a studio apartment, but I'd lived there for about a year before this actually happened, and I was asleep dead of night, woke up, and I felt pinned down. I felt like somebody was actually holding me down, and I just didn't want to open my eyes. I was afraid to open my eyes. So I just waited and kept pushing, and finally I was able to push my arms to my side and push myself up, and I felt the weight lift off me. Never saw anything, finally opened my eyes, didn't see a thing. But the thing is, they say sleep paralysis. It's like, okay, I get that, but it only happened to me once. Never happened prior to that, and it never happened since. Not to this day. Never. So I don't know how to explain if that's sleep paralysis, how it happened just one time in this one building that was built around maybe the 1930s late. Not quite sure. Never really looked into the history of the house. Couldn't be bothered, and you know what? I didn't have the tools to do so at that time, because we did not have the internet to just jump on Google and go, hey, what happened in that house? And come to think of it, I could do that, but maybe I don't want to know. Anyhow, have you had any of these kind of experiences yourself? Have you had auditory dreams? Have you had really vivid dreams that are so vivid that you thought that that was absolutely real? Or have you had experiences with sleep paralysis? Just once? Twice? How about any other dreams that are kind of odd? I have others, but I thought we'd keep this one rather short, because those are just 3 examples of my own experiences with very, very strange dreams. In the future, I'll be discussing dreams that end up being kind of a deja vu situation, recurring dreams that continue to recur, and others where, you just can't exactly explain. Dreams are a phenomenon. And we all know that a lot of it is to sort out what we've been experiencing through the day. And quite often, you can review a dream that you've had and go, yeah, I remember that. I do. But other times, maybe it's not that easy to explain. Maybe there's something else going on there. You just never know. Well, with that in mind, if you need somebody, do pick up the phone and call. Because, dreams are kind of scary. If you wake up in the middle of the night, do call somebody. Don't hold a gun to your head. Call somebody. Otherwise, it's Andrea Doria giving you the ever popular, if it's dark and you're going to bed and you think you're getting a little bit scared, never be too scared. It is only the dark. And sometimes those dreams are really just that. Just a dream. Good night.